chess aficionados. In my past video, I talked about a FIDE president, an ex-FIDE president. Yes, he happened to be from Russia, and he also built a chess city, spent even 30 to 50 million dollars on a very poor area of that country, and it didn't take off. So some say it's a waste of money, some say it was a vision, but he says that aliens told him to build it there. So you don't know. There's some people who make so much fun out of this topic, and other people who are taking it seriously. And here's one section uh that I found for you that's taking this matter seriously. Let's listen.
What exactly are these if they're not ours?
So what's the most persuasive, documented UAP encounter that you can talk about?
Sure. First of all, it's a great question. It's also a loaded question because there's a lot I can't talk about, which to me is probably even more persuasive if you had a chance to see just some of this data. What I can talk about is probably the most famous case that we had. It was in 2004. It involved the USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group. This is a nuclear-powered, if you will, aircraft carrier, along with a fleet of other vessels, nuclear-powered, and in some cases submarines. And so they were doing what they call workups, or they were practicing before going out on a deployment. And they were out in 2004 in November, conducting operations off the coast of San Diego, California. And there you have one of the escort ships with the latest Spy-1 radar capability beginning to pick up some sort of weird anomaly. In fact, not only was it the USS Princeton at the time with this brand new radar system looking at this, which one could argue maybe was a radar glitch, but you also had an E-2 Hawkeye that was also in the air providing airborne radar. And both are now looking at some sort of object, we'll call it an object, coming in from 80,000 feet and within less than a second, now hovering 50 feet over the water. So certainly something very perplexing. So perplexing, in fact, that we decided to go ahead and launch two of our F-18 aircraft, Super Hornets. And so as you had Commander Dave Fravor and Commander Alex Dietrich, this is Commander Dave Fravor, by the way, a Top Gun graduate and instructor. These people are trained to identify and determine the difference between an SU-22, a MiG-25, and a F-16 from 20 miles away. And by the way, make a decision to shoot it down if necessary. So they get vectored to the area, and the first thing they notice is some water roiling on the ocean. And so Dave decides, being the kind of pilot that he is, he's going to go in and take a look at this. So he conducts a very, very evasive maneuver to get down and close to what he describes as this white, looks like a tic-tac, literally like the breath mint. And it's about 40 feet long. There's no windows, no real wings or control surfaces, no obvious signs of propulsion. And yet, this object is witnessed now by 4 separate individuals in 2 separate aircraft, bouncing back and forth almost like a ping pong ball right over the surface of the water. So as he goes down and to take a closer look at this, all of a sudden this thing begins to react to Commander Fravor's evasive maneuvers. And really, as Commander Fravor's coming in for a better look, this thing begins to maintain its distance and almost parlay, if you will, and keep a distance from this aircraft. So that tells us, first of all, it's intelligently controlled. And so as he decides this time, okay, I'm not getting anywhere here. I'm just going to go aggressively and go for this thing. Full throttle goes in, and if you will, for that quote-unquote kill to see what this thing is. And all of a sudden, like that, it's gone. It absolutely disappears over the horizon within about a second. Now, what's even more scary, which is in about 5 seconds afterwards, and we know this conclusively, we did the investigation, this object now is picked up once again on radar 60 miles away. And in fact, it is now at the rendezvous point waiting for them. And that rendezvous point, by the way, is a point that nobody knew other than the pilots where they were supposed to be. So somehow this not only anticipated their next move, but was able to get literally 60 miles. You can do the calculations if you want how fast that is in 5 seconds. So something certainly well beyond our capabilities even today. Hypersonic velocity, instantaneous acceleration, and whatnot.
And that's Dave Fravor up there.
That is Commander Dave.
Okay, so you can listen to this later on. I'll provide you the link. And notice with this cubed UFO puzzles pilot.
Looks like a cube.
It has these kind of little points that stick out. It does seem to be darker in color and not like a bright, shining balloon. Whatever this is, it definitely shouldn't be there.
One theory is that if we were visited by another civilization, they might send probes ahead of when they actually come.
February 2020, an Airbus A320 is on a routine flight soaring over Medellin, Colombia.
Okay, and that's repeating that section. And as you know, I didn't get many hits for this crazy out of the ordinary story about this man. So I'm repeating it again. And this is the title. He was the Kirsan Ilyumzinov. Why don't we try to find them out there and interview him again? That's going to be kind of hard to do because he's behind the Russian, well, because he's Russian. He was the president of FIDE for over 20 years, and he claims that aliens created chess and that he was taking for a ride. Like, again, as you can see, they suspended him, okay, for ethics. The code of ethics. Well, that's interesting that Russia suspends anybody for ethics. Okay. So you never know what at this upper echelon things are occurring. And again here, they were so concerned that he would have given up state secrets to the aliens. Okay. He said he had a telepathic conversation with yellow-suited extraterrestrials. And of course, we have the David Runch from the United States, very high top-level clearance, saying that there are people like secrets of the secret of the secret. And I wonder, if people like that so not interested in this, maybe they're mentally, psychologically not ready to have the world go upside down, you know? And maybe they're like the status quo. Some people believe in religion, some people do not. And we're going to have a real conversation about stuff like this. Because I believe, for example, those from the Judeo-Christian faith, that there are instances of something extraordinary in the Bible. That we say we fight against powers and principalities. There are demons and there are angels. Could they also be what we now, those that don't have any religion, consider or don't want to twist it with religion, aliens? It's something for you to think about. Look at Tobit, the book of Tobit. And how does this tie with chess? Well, it's a very deep game. You cannot just get it by studying just one thing. It is a game that is a meeting of the minds. You almost have to know what the other side is going to do, like telepathy. So it's definitely a mind game. And definitely a game where you kind of want to intimidate the other side, either by your physical way of sitting or by the moves that you make. So that part of playing chess is not discussed, especially if you play online. Can you feel the energy of the other person? Their mental energy? I mean, that's some kind of wild stuff. Hopefully, this will gain more interest because this came from more veridical sources. And I would like for your opinion and your thoughts on the world of chess and aliens. Thank you so much for watching. Au revoir.